3 turnovers in a row.
And then we all wish this happened. 72
All right, turn it off now.
to 33.
Man,
That is a little tough on the
turn it
ear.
off, TK. Abort.
Man, I don't even know if there's much more I can say. The Cavs are just, they're that good. They closed out Game 4 against the Miami Heat, finishing off the sweep with a 50-point dominating win. Jarrett Allen set the tone right at the beginning. Kenny Atkinson pointed that out in the huddle when the Cavs were up by 20 in the first quarter, and it was just ridiculous how good the Cavs played in this game. Their intensity was top-notch. The coaching was top-notch. Everyone chipped in. The starters were great. Jerome was great. Deandre Hunter had his best playoff performance so far. Everything is clicking for the Cavs, and I know Boston fans cannot be too happy deep inside seeing what the Cavs are doing right now. Well, their team is kind of struggling against the Magic. I cannot wait for Cavs versus Celtics. It's going to be absolute stamina. I know Dame just tore his Achilles, which just sucks to see, man. You hate to see it for that dude. But right now, it looks like the Pacers are going to advance. So that creates an interesting matchup because the Pacers are streaky. They can heat up on offense, but I think the Cavs are going to overpower them just in terms of star talent and depth. And man, what a series this was. What a fun 4 games of basketball. And I want to break everything down. I'm going to start out with this game, Game 4, of course, and then I just want to talk about the series as a whole and who stepped up and how the Cavs can take this momentum into round 2. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We're only about 800 subs away. We can get there. Let's do it. And also, now that the Cavs advanced, if you plan on going to any games in the second round, I have a discount code for you at Vivid Seats for $20 off your next purchase of $200 or more as a first-time user, and the code is Premier20. Alright, so yeah, the Cavs just had everything clicking in all phases in this game. The starters, the bench warmers, everyone just played out of their minds, and you could just tell that the Heat were pretty much gone after the first 5 minutes, and so were their fans. That stadium was depressing. This was just sad, man. This was one of the worst NBA games I've ever seen, just in terms of like all-around basketball. Obviously, the Cavs played out of their minds. Actually, not even out of their minds. They just played how they normally play. They just dominated from start to finish. They came in ready to set the tone. They came in ready to close things out, because we all know in the NBA the closeout games are the hardest ones. Well, apparently not today, because it was crazy what I just watched. I can't even put into words how good the Cavs were. This game was giving me flashbacks to that one Celtics game back in the LeBron and Kyrie days where they were up by like 50 at halftime and they set the record. J.R. Smith hit that turnaround shot. Shout out to JR, that's my boy right there. That was like my childhood idol and hero. Kind of funny to say now when I look back at things, but man, JR was such a fun player. But anyways, getting back on track, at the time of this recording, there's about 5 minutes left in the game. The Cavs are up 126 to 72, so it's pretty much over, and it's definitely sad that the Cavs are done broadcasting. I know that's like a rule in the NBA. You only get the first round, because I cannot stand Dorisburg. For the life of me, I am not going to be watching Dorisburg games. I'm just going to sync the radio or something. I'm going to have to figure out something, because I'm not watching here on ESPN. But I cannot wait to see the Cavs continue to roll. Let's see if they can go 16-0. Wouldn't that be crazy? Another little 15, 16 game win streak. I think they got it in them. Nah, I'm just trolling. I know that the Celtics and the probably Thunder in the finals, but more importantly the Celtics series, that's the most important series. Next, obviously the Pacers, but I'm just going to ignore that because I really do think the Cavs can sweep them as well. But yeah, Cavs Celtics is going to be absolute stamina, and I know I'm just rambling right now. I don't have a script or anything, so I apologize. One thing I also loved from this game was when Jerome made that great defensive play and a foul was called and Kenny Atkinson immediately called timeout and challenged it. I just love how Kenny Atkinson always stands up and fights for his players, no matter the score, no matter the situation. We saw him get ejected for Tristan Thompson in like the second to last game of the year. I love Kenny Atkinson, man. And he has a new meme out from game 2 when he did that little challenge thing. I thought that was funny. But yeah, Kenny absolutely deserved Coach of the Year, and Evan Mobley absolutely deserved Defensive Player of the Year. I'm so happy that he got it. I still have the game on right now. I just looked over to my right. I see Isaac Okoro just hit a 3. It looks like he's been killing it in garbage time right now. Shout out to Isaac Okoro because he's kind of one of those players that doesn't get a lot of credit. He doesn't get a lot of playing time anymore with how deep this team is, but he still can come in and he can lock things up for 5 minutes. So he's definitely going to be useful in the Celtics series if and only if he can knock down his wide open threes, but it looks like he could tonight. But I mean, it also is a 70 point or 60 point dub, so it's just like baseball when your team's up by 10 and everyone's hitting. Sometimes you can't really look into that, but I hope that Isaac will show up in the second and third round when he's on the court. And as I'm still watching, Tristan Thompson just had an and one turnaround bank shot. Love that. All right, I'm gonna get away from my live commentary because I know it's probably annoying. Let's get back on track. Let's look at some of the official numbers from this game. This is gonna take a while for me to This is gonna take a while because everyone contributed. Donovan Mitchell, he played 24 minutes and had 22 points. He was knocking down some big shots at the start of the game. He had 5 assists and a steal. Pretty much everyone had a steal. The Cavs were just lighting the Heat up defensively. They were playing so intense. They weren't giving them any breathing room, and they were just frustrating them all night long. He was plus 31 and was 8 for 15 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and 4 of 8 from behind the arc. Max Strus, he played 20 minutes, only had 3 points. For some reason, I feel like he had more, but either way, he made a winning impact. He had 5 rebounds with 4 assists. He was plus 34. Sam Merrill hit some big threes. He played only 18 minutes and had 9 points in those 18 minutes. He was plus 31 in 18 minutes and was 3 of 7 from the field. Jarrett Allen set the tone from the very beginning of this game, getting a steal and then getting a finish around the rim. He had 14, 12, and 2, and he had 6 steals. It was nuts. And then Evan Mobley had 17 and 7, and he was hitting step back threes. That's when you know he's confident. The TNT announcers, I was watching the TNT broadcast for a little bit, and they were talking about how when Evan Mobley can hit those threes, it just opens up his entire arsenal offensively, and it spaces the floor for the Cavs as a whole. Now in terms of the bench, Jerome had 18 points in 20 minutes. He hit a crazy half-court shot to end the third quarter, and then Deandre Hunter, he played 20 minutes and had 19 points. He was really aggressive offensively, was knocking down the mid-range shots, and he was 3 of 4 from behind the arc, and then 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Also, Jerome was perfect from the line as well. Javonte Green in garbage time was tearing it up. He almost posterized somebody. He had 11 points and 3 rebounds. He was 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 of 4 from the field, and was plus 8 in terms of plus minus. There wasn't a single Cavalier that was in the negative. That is exactly what you want to see. That is great team basketball from start to finish. In terms of the Miami Heat and what they did offensively, I think the funniest part of this game is that Tyler Hero played 30 minutes, and in those 30 minutes, he scored a whopping 4 points and was 1 of 10 from the field and was minus 44 when he was on the floor. That is just crazy. I know he was only talking crap because Darius Garland started it, but still, you gotta at least kinda show up. I know that Darius Garland didn't actually play the final 2 games, but that was an embarrassing showing. The Cavs just, yeah, Tyler Hero, I don't know if his Miami Heat days are done, but the Heat have to change something. They need to get like Kevin Durant. Even Kevin Durant, he might even make them worse at this point because Kevin Durant can't save any teams right now. But yeah, the Cavs just completely dominated the Heat from start to finish. What a fun series this was to watch. Cavs basketball is back and better than ever, and I really do think that this team is a contender, and they sent a clear message to the NBA. They showed the NBA exactly what it feared. Here's what some of the guys had to say in their post-game interviews following this dominating Game 4 win.
This guy right here. I mean, like, we all had the mindset. Max sent a text last night in the group chat, just reminding us. And it really speaks to the collectiveness of the group, what we have. And then when you get out there and he sets the tone with a steal and a dunk, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really, and then he had some words that he said to me that I won't repeat, but that's when I knew we were going to win. Like, that just speaks to where we're all at. And, that's the biggest thing, just the maturity level as a group. But, we handled our business, and this is the toughest game of the series, and, for us, we really set the tone, and that's something to be proud of.
So, yeah, man, the Cavs are advancing to round 2, most likely against the Indiana Pacers. They're going to have about a week or so to rest up, which is very important for Darius Garland and his toe, but just for the team as a whole, because whenever you can get rest in the playoffs, you'll take it. Whenever you can sleep in your own bed back in Cleveland, you'll take it. I really appreciate you guys for watching and supporting me all season long. I'm going to continue the content for the rest of the Cavs playoffs, win or lose. I know I haven't been the best with making videos after they lose, but I hate talking about Cleveland teams when they lose because I'm so passionate about Cleveland sports. But yeah, once again, thank you all so much for your support. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I know it probably wasn't my best. I'm just hyped and geeked up about this win because right now the Cavs are up by 57. Let's see if they can get it to 60. Let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.